I don't care what anyone says. If you're a female founder and you're not using Claude yet, you are leaving hours on the table every single week. And I'm not talking about writing cute emails. I'm talking about getting it to help you with your proposals, strategy docs, content calendars, entire systems that Claude can build for you. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to use Claude as a complete beginner, but specifically for your business. So first up, why Claude and not ChatGPT? Because I know that this is a question that a lot of people ask. And look, I use both, but for business use cases, Claude wins in 3 big areas. So first, it has a huge context window, which means you can upload entire strategy documents, it can read through your meeting transcripts, and Claude can actually remember and reference all of it. Second, the projects feature in Claude is genuinely better for organizing your work. You set up a project for each client or area of your business, give it custom instructions, upload reference files, and Claude remembers all of it. Every time you come back, it's like picking up a conversation with someone who actually knows your business. Third, Artefacts. This is the one that sold me. Claude doesn't just give you text, it builds things for you. Content calendars, launch plans, SOPs, full documents that you can download and use straight away, or interactive HTML documents you can share with people. Finally, skills. This is a huge unlock. Creating repeatable workflows with Claude so that it can start to do business tasks for you. So if you're choosing where to start and you run a business, Claude is an excellent choice. Right. So first up, let's get you set up. So first up, you just want to Google Claude Desktop. We'll be using the desktop app today, and you'll just get these options here, download for Mac or Windows. And if you haven't already, just use your email to sign up, and then you can choose from the free or pro plan. Heads up, as you start working with this, you will need to upgrade. Free is a good place to start for the purpose of this. Okay, so you've downloaded Claude Desktop and it'll look something like this. So this is your main chat window. And if you've used ChatGPT before, this looks pretty familiar. It's pretty simple. So in here, we just type and Claude answers back to us. Now, the biggest mistake beginners make, and I see this all the time, is treating Claude like Google. You ask one question, you get an answer, that's it. And the whole conversation evaporates. So we're going to set some stuff up so that you start using this properly. Think of Claude like your team member, not a search engine. The more context you give it, the better it works. So we want to jump down here. So go to your sidebar and then jump out down here to settings. And there's just a couple of things that I want you to set up first. We can change our little avatar here if we want. This has no bearing on how Claude functions. And then pop your name and what Claude should call you here. And you can also select what best describes your work. But over here, you want to put in some instructions for Claude. And if you have set up your custom instructions in ChatGPT, this is a similar concept. So you want to explain who you are, what you do, but also how you would like Claude to respond to you. This is the North Star. Every chat you open with Claude will refer to these. So again, who you are, what you do, how you want Claude to respond. You can also put in here things like explain tech, like I'm 14, which is a super handy tip, and any tech stack that you use here too, or anything you're aiming to do with Claude as well. Okay, so we've got that set up. Now I want you to come over to capabilities. And the first thing I want you to do is make sure you have these two toggled on. So search and reference chats and generate memory from chat history. So what this does is allows us to open up a chat with Claude and be like, hey Claude, last week we were talking about a client's content strategy. Can you go and just read that chat and get yourself up to speed? I want to continue that now. And Claude will be able to go and search and reference those chats. Next up, we want to generate memory from chat history. And so what this does is allows Claude to, the more we use it, start to collect information about the way we work, the way we like it to respond. And the more you use it, it will will get a better understanding of who you are. Now, you can also import memory here from other providers like ChatGPT. This is just a prompt that will go into chat and surface the saved memories chat has about you. So what I recommend you do here is clean up your memory, remove anything older than the last 90 days or that's irrelevant. You don't want to take everything that you have chatted with chat about. You want to kind of give Claude a good memory. And so just get it to prune anything that's irrelevant and say, based on our chats from the last 90 days, can you take this memory that you've just surfaced with the prompt up here and just clean it up for me? And then once you've done that, you hit paste and add memory. Next up is artifacts. So we will get into this later, but we want AI-powered artifacts on, as well as inline visualization. We also want Claude code execution and file creation. That just means Claude can create documents for us. Okay, now let's jump into the chat window and I'm going to show you a couple of things over here. So what is really powerful about Claude is its connectors and also skills. So jumping over to customize and we jump into connectors. So you can see all of the connectors that I have here, including Xero, Slack, Notion, Canva, Fathom, etc. So to add a new connector, you just go over here to browse connectors. And honestly, there is stuff being added every single day. It just became available and Microsoft 365. So what you want to do is sign up, is select plus here. So we'll add my Gmail again. And what that's done is just asking me to sign in. So I'll sign in on this other window and then Gmail will be connected. Okay, so now that's done and my Gmail is connected. I do want to show you some stuff here too with these connectors. So you can give these tools specific access to things. So over here, these are the read-only tools, which mean Claude can only read. It can't do. Over here is write and delete. So what kind of things can't Claude write and delete? So here it can retrieve a specific email thread. And in here, it can create new labels for us, labels to threads, and it can also draft emails. It won't fire off emails. It will just have them sitting in your draft as like a guardrail. But if you don't want it to ever do that, you would just have over here blocked. So we can give these tools like permission on like a tool by tool basis, or we can go up here and just be like, you know what, I'm just going to always allow all of these things. That is completely up to you how you want to work with these tools. All right, so we've got Gmail connected. So go through and have a look at the tools that you work with and connect some of them. Next up, we have skills. So over here, I've got a whole bunch of skills, and to create a new skill, we use the skill creator here. And so you can see this is made up of loads of folders which have files in them here. So in this skill, it's got the ability to grade itself on how well it's making your skills. It's also got this eval reviewer, references, and it can also run Python scripts here. So we've got the skill creator on and we've connected some tools. What's next? So let's jump back into a chat now and I'm going to show you something really cool. So this is where Claude stops being a chatbot and starts being part of our workflow. Hey Claude, can you go into my Fathom recordings on Google Drive and can you grab the discovery call I had recently? I want to write a proposal based off the transcript. And so what it's going to go off and do now is search in my Google Drive because I've got that connected. It's going to grab that transcript and then it's going to run it through my proposal writer skill. So let's watch it. And if we hit this here where it's flashing, you can see just all of the stuff that it's doing for us. So it's reading the skill and now it's searching in Google Drive. And what it's doing here is presenting me with the call, just so it's making sure that I've got the right transcript before it writes the proposal. FYI, this is a fake transcript for the purpose of this demonstration. All right, so we are going to create the proposal for the consult and team training, and we will delegate that out to a builder for the implementation. And so what it's doing here is now going to search for the page on my Notion to put this in. Okay, so after a few minutes, it has written the proposal for me and it's also saved a draft in my Gmail. So let's have a look at it. So you can see here that it has phased the pricing and it's locked in the dates based on that transcript. And so we can open this Notion. And this is here for me to review and then send off to the client. And if we open my Gmail, we can see this sitting here with the proposal linked. Amazing. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how Artifact and skills can work together. So if you don't know, Artifacts live over in this side corner, and honestly, they are incredible. You can create visual HTML dashboards, explainers, all sorts of stuff. So I've created this one here explaining how context works and token limit. So if we go over into the chat where it was created, we can hit open in Google Chrome and view it like I just did, or we can go over here and publish as an artifact. And then you can copy this link and share it with anyone you need to view this artifact. So let's start a new chat now, and I'm going to show you how exactly this fits in your workflow. And if you're wondering what I'm using, it is Whisperflow, and I'll link that down below as well. Hey Claude, can you please grab the most recent transcript from my client when we're talking about their content strategy? And so again, Claude is going to go into my Google Drive and grab out that transcript, and then I'm going to show you what it does with it. Okay, so it's grabbed the transcript here and it's just basically gone through and given me a summary. That's really cool, but that's not all it can do. So if we hit /, we can bring up any skills that we have created here. And so the one I'm going to bring up now is this social strategy content plan. And so when you're working with skills, you can do the /, or I could just say, create this social strategy content plan. So you can bring them in with natural language or /. So let's just do that. And because it's a skill, I don't even have to prompt it, because what it's doing is reading this skill. And so this is what this workflow is. So Claude will read this description here and go, okay, here's what this skill is about. And then it will read through this workflow, which is just describing to Claude exactly what I want. So when to use this skill, when Brooke runs social media strategy sessions with clients, and here are some of the trigger phrases. And then the really cool thing about skills too is they can link to our tools. So we can have skills that access our tools, which is how Claude becomes super powerful. So it's like, here are where the transcripts live in Google Drive. And then you're going to use your tool, Google Drive Search, to find the client transcript, extract the key information, and then build the content plan in HTML. And then finally, what it's going to do is build it in my brand colors. All of these are listed here. And then it's going to save that and present it. And then it's going to draft an email for me. So you can see how this starts to be a part of your workflow and will save you hours per client. So let's see how it's gone. So it's building the HTML artifact right now. So you can see it literally coding in real time. We'll just give it a couple of minutes and it'll be done and ready to send to the client. So literally in a minute, it has coded this beautiful looking content plan for my pretend client. So we can go through all of this and check out the content plan. It's the content pillars that we talked about and the launch art, and also include all of these ideas for your client. It's also got these like hook templates that they can easily copy and paste. And again, we can publish this as an artifact, and you just hit publish and copy link and then send that over to your client. Again, as part of this skill, I've got it to draft an email in my voice. Once it works through the coding of this, then drafts it for my client, and this will sit in Gmail. So I hope by now you're understanding how powerful these tools are and how when they embed into your workflow, rather than just using them for quick, fast answers or copying and pasting, these tools become so powerful. So next, I want to show you Project, which sit over here. And this is the feature that kind of ties everything together. So Projects is where Claude stops being like random chats and starts being a team member. So let's start a project. So let's do it for our client Maya, who we've just created that content plan. Maya social media strategy. And over here, you can just leave that blank or you can use a description. It has no bearing on its functionality. Then we hit create project, and this is where it starts to get powerful because you can add in custom instructions here. So we could jump back into Claude and say, hey, I want to create a project based on the transcript with my client about their content plan. You're going to help me as we work with this with the client on their social media strategy. Once you've saved that, once you've pasted that in here, just hit save. And then you can also attach any files. And what's really cool about this is, yes, you can upload them from your device, but you can also add things from Canva, from your Google Drive, and also Notion or GitHub. And then as you use this project, it will start to develop memory again about the way you like to work, what it should do if you give it any feedback. So if you are working in a project, all of your chats will start to sit here. And what I want you to do is always include feedback. So if you're working on something with Claude and then you take it out and you edit it, it doesn't know that. So we want to give it feedback. So then you would just like jump back in and say, FYI, here are the bits that I've changed. Save that to your memory for next time. And it will save that over here. So the more you use these, the better they get. And every single time you open this project, Claude will know who that client is. It'll know about their social media strategy. It'll know the last thing that you have worked on. So you don't have to explain anything. You can just start working and Claude will read these instructions, look at the memory, and get to work for you. And another huge unlock here is if we go social strategy content plan, we can call in all of our tools into these projects. So you can see how powerful these tools are. Imagine having projects for every single client or every product launch or every area of your business. That's what this does. And I've got a whole video on setting up Claude's deeper features, including co-work, where this gets super powerful. I will link that below and in the end screen. But for a beginner tutorial, the 4 things that we have just covered, so our connectors, our skills, our artifacts, and our projects, those are your money moves. Start there. And before we go, let me give you the big picture of how this actually fits together, because this is how you stop using Claude like a chatbot and start using it like a system. So layer 1 is our settings that we set up at the start. And that's how Claude remembers who you are, how you like to work. Layer 2 is our projects. And this is where we save that permanent context about our clients, our business, our tone. And then layer 3 is the deeper setup, which was our custom skills, our connectors. And then as you get more confident, you can move into co-work. And that's where Claude becomes a proper AI assistant or team member for you. And I have a full Claude co-work HQ skill. I will also link that in the description below. And go and check out my channel for all of my co-work videos once you're ready. This is where real time saving comes from. I've also got a whole breakdown of skill systems on my channel, so go check it out. But if you do these 5 things, they will save you hours every single week if you actually use them. You've made it to the end of this video, so I know you are serious about implementing these systems in your business. I have a community of amazing women using AI every day in their business to save time, get confident with these tools, feel supported, and make money using AI. There is a classroom full of resources for you, as well as incredible events monthly. Build with Brooke sessions, co-work Q&As, member show and tells, as well as masterclasses. I will link that below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any updates and new videos. And make sure you also like this video. It helps my channel out so much, and I will see you on the next video.